Hey yo, what's up guys? Well, the last video was received very well and I'm happy with that. So the fundamental gameplay is like a thing that people are interested in and I think I can offer that, so I'm very happy. This day I have a different matchup. It's the Sett matchup. It's a bit of a harder matchup, especially in the early laning phase. And this also is a more micro-oriented matchup where mechanics and trade patterns are very important if you want to have success in this matchup, so I'll go over that. For rune setups, there's two different setups that you can go. You can go for the Conqueror Resolve setup with the shield bash and bone plating, or with the unflinching and bone plating, to allow yourself to have more access to the early waves because you can trade more with the bone plating. And alternatively, you can go sorcery, which is the tree I'm running this game. In hindsight, I think the Resolve was better, but still, I'm running for sorcery with Flash Ignite. And when I'm blue side with this, and I'll show you, is there's a very nice cheese that you can do into a lot of early game junglers. Even into very strong level 1 champions such as Rengar, you just have to be there first. So what I tell my team is to come in the bush, stay there, and I'll path like this, and then I start my Q here, I hop over the pit, and then I go out here. I told my team to wait for my Q cooldown as well, and I spotted Diana, this is a very common spot where junglers will be. I wait for my Q cooldown, but the thing is, my team was too, like, I guess, hesitant on walking up here, and perhaps I also went a bit too early, and I shouldn't have initiated with Ignite, because then I lose the movement speed buff. But yeah, I mean, she ends up living, and I end up getting collapsed on, so I even lose both my summoners level 1 right here. So yeah, we're in a very tough spot. Or no, wait, I keep my flash, I lose my Ignite, that's it. Okay, so we're 120 in base, we're a bit delayed already. Kindred is pathing top, so that's good for us. We have no idea where the Diana is. We have a ward on the Raptors at least, so we see that much. I lose a bit of XP as well in this wave. So already, right, we're down our aggressive summoners. We have no wave control, and we already lost one piece of XP. So the lane is kinda in a very tough spot for us, right? The only advantage we have is that Kindred is pathing top. So this matchup, how I perceive it, it's all about spacing and using the correct trade pattern. And I already mentioned the trade pattern that I'm usually looking for is starting when you're level 3, is what you do whenever he comes in melee range with you, you do W auto attack and then you EQ out. If you EQ out, similarly to, well, it's not similar to Darius, it's kind of similar, but Darius has a bit longer range with his E, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but it just seems less consistent. But against Sett, if you do W auto attack and then EQ out, you will always get outside of his E range, and often he will use it afterwards, so that gives you even another window to look for trades. So that's why I'll just say that in events, and we can go over the VOD to see how it goes. So here he's pathing up he's playing very aggressive. So I'm trying to see if I can bait out what ability he started just with movement. Right, I'm walking up to him a bit, seeing what I can scout up. But here he's just going to attack the minions. I have my next wave coming up, so I feel confident here to just start going for a trade here. Trade ends up being okay for me. You see though here, if I had bone plating, and he's also not running bone plating, I mean the trade would just look totally different, right? We're both not running bone plating. Say he was running bone plating and I wasn't, this trade would be very bad. Say we're both running bone plating, it will look kind of similar, right? But still, I like this trade for me, because I have 3 health potions, he has 1 health potion. He does have the passive for sustain, but still this is completely fine for me, right? Now he's hard pushing, he's trying to crash. He should have crashed second wave. He's making a mistake here, because if he does this, I think enemy Diana might be pathing top. I'm not entirely sure this game, but we do know that my Kindred is pathing top, and he should know this as well. So since he didn't hard push the second wave, he's coming in a very awkward spot for the third wave, right? It's very hard for him to push this wave now, because he is extremely gankable. So similar, he places the ward here, but still, if Kindred loops around, it's very hard for him to push out this wave, because it's a very awkward spot. And this is kind of the exact same scenario that we were having in the first game against the Cho'Gath, right, where I need to crash second wave to make it bounce to me, so I'm not gankable. Here you see what happens if he doesn't push the second wave, he becomes very gankable. I picked E second. Alright, Kindred is gonna go look for a gank, so I walk up a little bit. Yeah, Kindred took good pathing, perfect. Now one thing I should try here, when I know I'm playing Ignite, I should try to not get chunked as much, because I want to have enough health so that I can lane after this fight. That's what I'm thinking here, that's my only thought. Now I don't really succeed in it, as you can see. I get chunked very much. But at least we end up securing the kill. So he saved me a bit by, I mean, I was okay in the lane, but this helps me, right? This helps me put me in a good spot in the lane again. I only have 1 potion, so I won't have that much health, but at least I can still lane a little bit. I can't recall here though, because if I were to recall, I would just lose too much. Sett is running TP, so I'm just letting it like this, right? I'm trying to clear as many minions as I can before it crashes, so it's just safe for me to last hit them, and I'm happy. Alright, we see Diana top now, so she also path top. Perfect. Alright. So he's bouncing to him now. I'm just gonna look for small trades, see what I can do. So the trade pattern I said, right, it was W, auto attack when he's in melee range, and then EQ out. So let's see how we approach trades. So he walks in melee range, I do W, auto attack. Now I didn't Q, and because I didn't Q, although I don't think that this should hit, it still hit me, because I didn't use the Q, right? So that's one thing to notice here. You want to do W, auto attack, and then EQ out. But I didn't, so I get chunked. And whenever he's on cooldown, it's very free for me to walk up to the wave. Here I didn't do the auto attack, but again, he walks in melee range, we do the exact same thing. We just try to poke him down. W should have auto attacked, didn't auto attack, but still, right? You see what happens. This is just the way you want to approach trading into Sett. Now his space is E, perfect. So now we could even look to try aggressively, right? Because he has no E. Alright, so now he has no E and no W. We know this. So here, his W is like, I'm not sure with the numbers. The number I have in my head is like 15, 16 seconds. My Q is coming back in 6 seconds, so I know when my Q is back and my E is back, he will not have W. So here I'm actually looking for an all-in window, just because I can here, especially with the ignite. So here, I want to, let's just play it out, right? Diana ends up showing up, so I got scared immediately. But the thing is, had Diana not been here, I know she was still top side because we saw her on the scuttle earlier, right? I would have taken this fight and I would have won. Just because I would have had ignite advantage. I can cancel his auto attack with my third Q, I can tank one auto attack with my E, I can cancel one auto attack with my W, it would be a good fight for me. He does have flash though, so perhaps he might be able to stall it out and then it becomes awkward. Hard to say what happened in hindsight. Anyways, I get ganked. And yeah, we are gonna end up losing a lot, so we're not in the best spot in there right now. Now I need to show you my gold. So we're resetting on 900 gold. Like I said in the last video, I really love D-Blade after my first reset when I'm starting Longsword. It's just way better lane stats. It just, you know, it's the health, damage. It's just very good for laning, so that's why I will go D-Blade here. And then I go refillable, yeah, Longsword refillable, right? Makes sense. So here, I'd say we're somewhat even. Perhaps Sett is a little bit ahead. I got the assist gold, he has more XP and some more CS, so right, he's up 9 CS on me in this current reset. So let's say we're about even now. So let's see how we approach the wave now, right? So multiple options here. We know Sett has no TP. We could hard shove this wave and then perhaps look for a roam mid. This is one option. What I prefer to do here is just slow push this wave, crash into next, and then I have a longer window. I have some more gold, so if I slow push this, crash next, for example, I will have, oh, I moved the gold so you can see my gold, but you see I have 100 gold. If I just hard push this wave, the only thing I could do, right, is perhaps roam mid. I can't really recall because I won't have gold to buy anything. And if I slow push this wave and crash into next, it will just make sure that I have a longer window to look for roams or a longer window to look for reset timer. So that's my reasoning to slow push here. Also, he's gonna miss some last hits whilst I'm slow pushing, right? So all in all, I prefer this much more. Right, he's lost 3 melee minions whilst I'm slow pushing, so already I feel like this was the right choice to do. And now, since I don't see him, I can start hard pushing this cannon wave because he's not contesting me. And the more minions I push right now, it's gonna become easier. I don't choose to go for the casters here just because I don't know when the Sett will show up. So that's why I'm prioritizing the melee minions here. Well, he doesn't end up showing up. So now you see I have a much bigger timer to roam because there's 2 waves stuck in this turret, and this is the third wave that's gonna arrive, but it's gonna end up being behind the turret, right? So my minions will not be hitting his minions, so his wave will stay alive. That means I won't be losing out on anything whilst I'm roaming. So here, I see a play happening mid, I see that the camp's gonna go up. I'm gonna look for this, this window. I end up finding the Diana, but I used the plant like this. Alternatively, had I maybe used it like this, I could have came behind her and killed her. It doesn't end up happening, just a small chunk, but I mean, it's still decent, right? I know where Diana is at, put some pressure on, it's okay. And like I said, I don't lose out on anything. If I look back top, you see all the minions are still alive, so it was fine what I did. Alright, we come back to lane. We still have the ignite advantage, he has flash advantage, so yeah, we just have to be a bit wary. I'd say we're even in items. He has longsword and a ruby crystal, I have double longsword, and we both have a door on side. So we're even, right? This is the trade pattern I was talking about. W auto attack, EQ out. This is what you like your bread and butter in the Sett matchup. He walks in mid range, W auto attack, EQ out. And this is just what you do. This is what you keep repeating. And a lot, okay, well here we space his E, right? Just with movement baiting, but here, this is what you keep doing into Sett matchup. It just chunks him, and then you do this often enough, and then eventually you can look for an all-in window. And then here I just space his Q by queuing back, right? And now I actually have an all-in window because he has no E. So I'll look for it. Right here, I just space a bit. And yeah, here I use my ignite just because I know this is my all-in window. He has no E. I can just face, I could have even face tanked it, but you see, like, right here, just because he has no E, he's already quite weak. All my cooldowns are coming back up, because I used my cooldown here, but I delayed my Q. Also a good thing to notice is right here, not full delaying, but here, I'm gonna hard delay my Q. Thus, it's only on a 7-second cooldown now. His E is gonna be on a much longer cooldown, so I know here, I can just look for an all-in window. My Q is coming back up. Now, did he not have flash, he would have probably been dead. Diana shows up as well. But we're completely fine. Sucks that she doesn't die here. She got the W shoot off. Very unlucky for me. But, I mean, we're fine, right? We're completely fine. He does still have ult. That's the one thing we have to be wary of. So yeah, I can't really contest him. Here again, the trade pattern. You see it one more time. This is, the like I said, the bread and butter into Sett. You do W auto attack, EQ out. And, I mean, he is afterwards here. A lot of times you'll see, like, kind of similar to Darius, right? But into Darius, it just feels more scary to do this. Into Sett, it's really easy, right? Can't really do much. Unless he predicts what you're gonna do and he E's instantly. But then again, Sett also has to get in position to get a good E off. So, I mean, yeah. You see this works very efficiently. Here I tried doing it, right? But here he was, like, it was bad positioning to do it because he's already in position to insta-E with the minions, right? So here it doesn't work. Here just E's me instantly. And then but then, like I said, you don't get much up because he stuns, I stun, he gets one auto attack, okay, but I can E it, right? So in that regard, it doesn't matter. Because, yeah, you both stun each other at the same time. So here I'm scared of the slow push. I mean, the thing is, we can take a look at this. I just made sure to stay in the XP range for the cannon minion, but I mean, Sett just kinda, I mean, we can watch it. Let's watch it together. Here, it's just, I mean, you already see his posture is very aggressive, right? I see Diana bot. I'm not really on any threat. Just stay calm in the scenarios. That's the most important thing. Just stay calm, guys. Because you have all your cooldowns, right? There's no need for you to use your cooldowns. Just wait for him to decide what to do, right? So, I mean, he ends up ulting me. I insta-stun, and then I just E. I mean, yeah, I can just use Q and E out like that. Perhaps it was greedy for me to just use Q and not instantly, because I only use one Q, right, and not instantly EQ out. If he instead of the auto attack does EW, I would be dead. So I should have EQ'd out. So he made a mistake, I made a mistake, but I mean it ends up happening, right? And then we trade like 1 for 0, and of course then the lane becomes easier for me to play. So I'll show out the lane a bit more. So what are our options with the wave right now? We see what I'm doing right here in this scenario is my eyes are on here. I see that the wave just came outside of the base, so that means that I can hard push this wave, and then it will just be fine for me to crash it, right? So that's my thought process here. And doesn't really matter what minion I attack. I don't need it to be extremely fast. This is just completely fine for me, and then I can base. So let's talk about that item purchase. It's 1400. What would you purchase here? I mean, just try to think for yourself, put yourself in my shoes right now, what would you purchase? And then I'll show you what I purchase. I go for pickaxe, and I go for ruby crystal. You might think, wow, why do you go for a ruby crystal? Like, you could, for example, go for the iron spike whip plus boots. You could go for, I don't know, Caulfields plus something. I just like the ruby crystal here, just because it gives me more health, and it allows me to trade more aggressively in his face. I can just face tank him more, or stat check him more, whatever you want to call it, and still be completely fine. Because I have more health, I have more than enough damage to be able to kill him. So this is my reasoning for this purchase. Pickaxe, a lot of damage, ruby crystal just for the health, so I can, you know, stat check him more, that's it. Here I was thinking of doing a camp, just because the wave is pushing back into me, right? So it's completely fine for me to do a camp here, because Kindred is doing dragon, the wave is pushing into me, I'm not losing anything, so doing this Gromp is completely good for me, right? I don't lose anything, my jungle doesn't lose anything, and it's just very nice timer for me to do this Gromp. Now let's see how we play out the rest of the lane. So our flash is about to come back up. We know Sett does not have flash. We have a small item advantage as well. We have one longsword over him. We have a small level lead. He does have the wave advantage, but we have AoE spells to clear it. So let's see how he approaches, right? So he insta E's, but he doesn't hit a minion, so I don't get stunned. It's completely fine here, but his E is on cooldown here. And because he just walks up with his E on cooldown, I know instantly all-in window for me. Doesn't matter if he does this. Doesn't matter whatever he does, right? Because my cooldowns will come back up. So just important. Sett, although he's a scary champion, you know, you just have to register whenever his ability is on cooldown. This champion actually has extremely long cooldowns, so his E is like I think 15 seconds, and let's say his W is also around there. They're like both 15 seconds, right? They're very long. So whenever his E is on cooldown after this, I just know that I can look for an all-in window, because he cannot really chain anything onto me. And then he walks up a bit too far, he has no flash, he has no ult. I mean, then it's just a free all-in window, right? I can just face check him because of the ruby crystal. It wasn't even close. Here you can see why I go for the ruby crystal. Not even close at all. And then I just finish off because I get my cooldowns back. Shove out the wave. I get 2 playthings. I get my gore drinker after base, and you can see for yourself this lane is completely over, right? It was a kind of a tough matchup in early laning, but in the end it ends up being very good. Good item purchases. You know, the trade patterns worked, and then yeah, the game is very free. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll try to look actively for more ranged matchups, because I saw a lot of suggestions looking for matchups like Jace. So I'll try to see if I can fight them. I just had this replay still stored so I could use it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, learned something new. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy your day.